The Calciomercato is officially over. This week we'll take time to analyze all the teams. La Regina del Mercato, of course, Napoli. The only team who didn't seem to have, that seemed to have a clear idea of what they wanted. Everybody else, a lot of confusion this year. A lot of confusion, including my Milan team. My Milan team, I gave them a 6 this year. I'll explain to you why. Tare made miracles on the selling side of things. On the acquisition side, a bit of confusion. So if the centrocampo is fantastic, he made a fantastic centrocampo. They went to get jashari, they spent a ton of money for him. He got injured, okay. They have Ricci, they have Modric, they added Rabiot. The man that Allegri wanted. Allegri really wanted Rabiot. And so they went to get him, and everybody says, yeah, but you already had 3 new ones. Guys, Modric is only there for a year, maybe 2. So having Rabiot on the team, if nothing happens character-wise, he doesn't beat anybody up, his mother's fine with everything, he is a fantastic player to have. And so Rabiot, Ricci, jashari, Modric. The only thing now is that Allegri needs to start playing them. I don't want to see Fofana and Loftus-Cheek anymore. Like, I want to see these starters that Milan went to get. Modric, Ricci, jashari, Rabiot. Now, in defense, if you try and sign Akanji from Manchester City, he decides not to come because you don't have the Champions League, he goes to Inter. Then you try to sign Joe Gomez from Liverpool. You have an agreement with Liverpool. At the end, it doesn't work out because Liverpool doesn't have the right substitute. Perfect. You cannot go spend 10 million euros on Odegu, I think his name is, and not bring anybody else in, because that doesn't make sense. Because he's only, I think, 19 or 20, plays under in the under 21 of Germany, only has 3 first starts in the Bundesliga as a professional. So you brought in De Vinta, you brought in Odegu, you still start with Pavlovic, Tomori, and Gabbia, unless one of the 2 new kids can take one of the positions. Guys, Pavlovic, Gabbia, and Tomori are not starters on any top team in Italy. So to me, that is a big question mark. I don't think that was the right decision. And like I said, if you decide to go for a certain type of player, I expect something else. And I expected maybe to go get somebody that had Serie A experience, a player like Baschirotto. And I don't want Baschirotto, but a player like Baschirotto, who is not flashy, doesn't require a big investment, but comes in and does the job. We talked about the centrocampo. The centrocampo is a 10. The wingers, though, needed help. Estupiñán, everybody said good things about him when they went to go get him. Even De Zerbi said he was a fantastic player. So far, 2 games in, question mark. Question mark, why? Loses a lot of balls. Defensively, so-so. Up front, you could see that he's pro-positive, but he's missing tactically, defensively, what you need in Italy so far. Can he improve? Absolutely. On the other side, you have Salazmaker, fine. The substitute is Atekame. If Salazmaker gets injured, is Atekame enough? I don't know. We haven't seen him play yet. He hasn't given him a chance. Very young. So that's another question mark. And if Estupiñán goes down, you play with Bartesaghi, who hasn't impressed anybody in the last 3 coaches. So yes, he's young. Yes, he's getting there, but he's also a big question mark. So I think he's better defensively, but offensively, he's not very pro-positive, not the fastest defender. So if you're playing with wingers, you need wingers that can go up and down the field quickly and effectively, right? So they need to be effective defensively, offensively. Like, they need to bring something extra to the game. Up front, our friend Tare made a bit of a mess, because the game before Lecce, you go and you say that Santi is on the market, you're trying to get Dovbik. Before that, you went to try to get Boniface, then pass the medicals. Then you tried to go get Harder. Everybody criticized Harder. Then his agents changed things midway. You don't decide to wait for him. You go for somebody else. You go with Nkunku. Nkunku might be a fantastic player. I hope he goes back to those Lipsia days. He scored a ton of goals as a false 9, as a seconda punta. but he is very different as a striker than what Harder, Boniface, and even Dovbyk are in terms of what Allegri wanted, right? And everybody criticized Harder, but then Chelsea wanted Harder, then he went to Lipsia. It's funny how when they go to Milan, everybody criticizes, but then when they go somewhere else, everybody's happy that he went there because he's a fantastic player. Anyway, just throwing it out there. So I'm glad they kept Santi Jimenez. Santi Jimenez, you spent 35 million euros for him only 3 months ago. I think he's a great striker. We need to find a way to make him work. And it's up to Allegri now to make him work. And with the 3-5-2, I think Leao and Pulisic were always going to be your 1 and 2. Leao as your number 9, Pulisic as your seconda punta. You brought in Nkunku. Can you play Nkunku and Leao? Can you do Pulisic and Nkunku? But Santi Jimenez needs space and he needs to score. Can you play Leao and Santi, Pulisic and Santi? I don't know how he's going to work it out, but he needs to figure it out. So they need to find a way to mend things with Santi Jimenez, make him feel welcome, make him feel like he's the real number 9, and hopefully he can score some goals. Now, on the sales sides of things, Tare made miracles. Selling Musa, Emerson Royal, name them, Chukwueze, like he made miracles. He made miracles. Chiao for 40 million euros. Okay, Reinders left, I think, before he got there. Selling Theo for 25. Like, name them, he made a ton of money for this club. They should have spent, not necessarily more, but in certain cases, better. That's what I think. Not for the Centrocampo, but I think up front, if your objective was a Boniface, Dovbyk type player, then you should have spent the 40 million on that sort of player. Now you want to get Nkunku, like I said, if he comes in and spacca tutto, then it's a fantastic move. Same thing for De Winter and Odegu. If they turn out to be your starters, that is fantastic. However, right now, I still see the same faces, and I am not too happy about that. So a 6 overall. Tare did some good things, mismanaged the Santi Jimenez thing. The defender, if you go for a Kanji, if you go for Joe Gomez, you can't present yourself on the 1st of September with Odegu. You needed somebody else. And the wingers. The wingers are a question mark, because if Salzmaker gets injured, who do you put? Atakame? And if Atakame doesn't do it, who do you put? Can you adapt Pulisic? Guys, I don't think Pulisic is a tuttocampista from defense to forward. Like, that's not what he is. You sold Chuku, who was honestly un peso at this point. He hasn't done anything since joining Milan. You sold Okafor. Like, they did very well on the selling side. But like I said, now you spent money for the Centrocampo. I want to see the new players. I don't want to see Loftus-Cheek, even though he's trying to revive him. I don't want to see Fofana all the time. I want to see Rabiot. I want to see Ricci. I want to see jashari when he comes back. I want to see Modric. That's what I want to see for this Centrocampo. Let me know what you think. Write in the comments. A 6 for Milan. A bit of confusion at the end. At the end, a bit of confusion. Let me know what you think. Write in the comments. Like and subscribe.